Hello and welcome to Die Rollin. I'm the ever-excitable Adam, and I will be playing Zombicide Invader over the next 10 to 12 videos, depending on how many scenarios there are in there. I'm using the base game. I have painted up all the miniatures. It's been sitting on my shelf of opportunity for a long time now. I played a few games of it, really enjoyed it, but my gaming group, we were playing other games at the time, so it never really got the time it deserved. During COVID, I really found a new sense of wonder when it came to solo games. My partner not really being into board games as much as I am. So I kind of dusted off a lot more of the games that you can play solo. And Zombicide Invader is one of those. So after doing the Zombicide Night of the Living Dead, I thought, you know what, let's get on to another Zombicide game and kind of show you guys how they kind of differ. This is a longer game, as in there are more scenarios. There's a lot more rules to worry about as well. And of course it's set completely differently. It's not set in a farmhouse where zombies or ghouls are trying to attempt to break in. This is set in outer space where you not only have to contend with the alien menace that are, I guess they were aliens and then they got infected with something and now they're alien zombies. But not only do you have to worry about these guys, you also have to worry about the actual atmosphere itself, because you can't leave the indoors of the space base without getting some kind of oxygen. And also your weapons that might work inside might not work outside. So there's a lot of strategy in here. You can also open and close doors whenever you fancy, which is really cool. So I'm going to be starting with the first scenario, which is the tutorial, and hopefully I won't get too much wrong in this. But if I do, then please let me know, and I'll put a mistakes were made section in the comments below. Well, wish me luck. Here we go with Zombicide Invader. So I've set up mission 1, tutorial breach. This should take us around 30 minutes, but I'm playing, so it's going to take us a bit longer. And I'm also going to explain to you some of the other things that are going on in this, because this is different to other Zombicide games in the sense that we're in space. So there's a few little changes that you just need to know about. And if you don't know Zombicide at all, then you'll need to know these things anyway. So let's begin with the setting. So we're on a remote planet, and essentially there are indoors and outdoor zones. So indoor zones obviously are indoors, and outdoor zones are these kind of like Marsy kind of terrain things here. Now certain weapons work inside, and outside they don't work. So for instance, anything which has got this kind of like little energy symbol on, this works outside. Anything which has a project to go outside, our heroes have to have an O2 canister. If they don't have one of these oxygen tanks, then they cannot go into exterior zones. So on each level, there tends to be one of these areas where you can get those so that you can go through outside zones, exterior zones. Okay, so the next thing to talk about is these weird kind of, tokens are on the board. These are mold. And the enemy are essentially going to be spawning these kind of on these mold zones at particular points. And when we have the big bad come out, which is our spoiler Abomination, this dude here, he actually produces these. Now, they can't go on exterior zones. That's worth noting. That's something when I first started playing this game, I didn't realize, so I was spawning them everywhere, but they can't go exterior. They can only go on the interior. When they appear on interior zones, they actually destroy any walls apart from exterior walls, and any objective tokens or doors that are in there are lost. So these things are pretty bad. In the game, if 2 spawn points, so we have a spawn point just over here and then one up the back there, if 2 spawn points are ever linked by these mold kind of tokens, then that's game over. Obviously on this very first level, we're not going to be able to do that because, can you tell me? Because you can't put mold outside, so we'll never have the instance where these two are linked up. On the other side of the mold is an inactive mold, so this is when you've destroyed it. You can only destroy these with hellfire canisters, which are fired from your flamethrower. And once one of these is destroyed, they're no longer a spawn zone, and they don't block line of sight or anything like that. But yeah, essentially, as soon as these are in a room, you can't search there. It blocks line of sight, so they're pretty tricky. So we don't really like mold. Next thing is to talk about the characters themselves. So there's 2 types of characters in this. We have civilian and military characters. Our military characters are these 3 big brutes at the front here. we have Magnus, Baraka, and Jared, and each of them are able to take more damage, so they have more kind of hit points than civilians. The only negative side to Marines is they can only search in security rooms, which are these red highlighted rooms. There's only one on this particular level. So that's the only place they can search. Whereas the civilians, they're a little more, I don't know, they're a little more kind of adaptable. So they can search in any zone, but they don't have as many hit points. In fact, all civilians only have 2 hit points in this base game. If we ever have somebody taken out, the whole game fails. So we fail this entire mission. And when I go through my run for this, I'm essentially going to play every single mission in this, so that's 10 missions. And if we do fail, we fail. And we'll see at the end how many I managed to successfully do and how many I failed at. There isn't really an ongoing narrative. It's not like a campaign where things will affect one game and then go to the next, which is a shame. And I really hope they come back to this universe and give a proper campaign to this, because I really like the setting and I love aliens. If you see my channel, you'll notice that, you know, we've already covered quite a lot of alien-themed games, and this is Zombicide's version of Aliens, essentially. Okay, what else have we got? So, we've got robots as well. So we have this sentry gun, and we also have the Peacekeeper bot. Now, these guys can be used if you have a purple control token or you have the green control token. Now, one of our civilians already has this kind of green control token just naturally. She's able to interact with the Peacekeeper bot. So she's able to use this without having that token. But we do have to find the token for the Falcon sentry gun, which is just there. Now, these guys, obviously the sentry gun isn't going to be moving anywhere. It's just going to sit where it is. And it's got a decent enough range. So range is 1 to 3. We're rolling 4 dice when we are attacking with it. Any 4s or more will hit, and each does 1 damage. And then we have the Peacekeeper bot, which has melee and ranged kind of capabilities, and it also moves alongside us. So if you're in the same zone as that Peacekeeper bot and you take a move action, you can also bring it along with you if you have that green control token, or if you are Mitsuki, who has that ability, which is this lady here. She's kind of our technical bots lady. Melee, so range is 0, 3 dice, 4 or more, and each does 2 damage. And range is 1 to 3 zones, 5 dice, 5 or more to hit, and 1 damage. Now, the damage is important because in most Zombicide games, when you are attacking an enemy, you have to, the wounds aren't accumulative. So essentially, we have a big tank character here. It takes 2 damage to kill one of these guys, and in normal games of Zombicide, you would need to have a weapon that deals 2 damage. However, in this version of Zombicide, you can actually concentrate fire, which essentially means if you're rolling multiple dice, so for instance, we've got this Falcon sentry gun here. If we were trying to attack this particular tank with this, we'd say we're going to concentrate fire, which means we'd be rolling all 4 dice, and each one that hits would do an additional damage. So for instance, if we rolled 3, 4 or aboves, we'd do 3 damage to this, which is enough to take this out. If we did 2 damage, it'd be enough to take it out. And the spoiler Abomination, it takes 3 damage to kill this guy, but we could kill it with one of these. The only difference is that essentially you can't target multiple enemies on that zone. You can only target one enemy. So yes, that's concentrated fire. That's the next kind of new rule they've done. And I'll introduce you to the enemies in this game. I've already introduced you the tank, but let me tell you a little more about the tank. So the tank, when it activates, it attacks or it moves one zone. And it always moves towards the noisiest kind of zone, or the person who's in line of sight. And this guy does 2 damage every time it attacks. So if this guy attacks one of our civilians, game over. There's no way we can actually, we can't get past that. So he's pretty tough. We get 1 experience for killing for one of these guys. Let's go to the regular worker. I'll put him back where he should be. So the regular worker, these guys are just your standard drones. When they activate, they will attack or they will move. They do 1 damage, and it takes 1 damage to kill them, and you get 1 experience point for killing them. Next, we have the hunters. The hunters are very quick, so they get 2 activations. So you activate everyone once. So let's say we had this guy and this guy. So they both activate, and then you'd then activate the hunters again. So if you're on the same space as a hunter, they can potentially attack you twice, dealing 1 damage each time they attack. And if you are 1 space away, they can move and attack, or they can just move twice. You kill them with 1 damage, and they deal 1 damage, and it's 1 experience point. The final one is the spoiler Abomination. When he appears, if he's on an indoor tile, he is going to spawn one of these things as well in every kind of zone he appears in. He also takes 3 damage to kill, and he does 3 damage when he's attacking. One other thing I need to talk to you about is doors. So we can essentially close doors whenever we want to. As an action, we can close a door. I said an action, but it's actually a free action. So at any point for a free action, we can close or open a door. Now, this is going to be very important because it's a really good idea to barricade your way as you're playing this game. It really does help you get through this. Now, I say get through this. I've never completed each of these scenarios. I've done the first 2 to 3 scenarios on this with mixed results. So I'm really excited to see how far I can actually get through that. And without further ado, that is essentially our entire setup chat about, well, what this game's all about. But let's talk about this particular level now, and then I'll talk you through our crew members. So on this particular level, we are trying to get to the exit. But before we do that, we have to come all the way down here, get our O2, and we need one of those for every single person who's going to be going outside, which needs to be everybody. We also have this little token here, which will give us 5 experience points, and it will give us a prototype light machine gun and an energy cell to power it with. So this is essentially like a decent weapon, which we'll be able to get and use. So once we have that prototype, we've got to come outside and make our way to the exit. And that's essentially the mission setup here. But I'll read out the whole kind of gumph so you know exactly what thematically is going on. So let's talk about the characters. So in red, we have Magnus. Magnus is a Norwegian who starts with 6 armor points. That's his initial his bonus. So he's pretty good. Most other people, like I say, they don't have many hit points, but he's got 6 because of his armor. He's starting with an SMG. Now, we get 2 SMGs to begin with, and we get 4 cattle prods. I've given him an SMG. It makes noise when you attack with it. It can be dual-wielded if you have another SMG. The range is 1 space away, so you can't attack if they're in the same zone. You're rolling 2 dice, 5 or more hit, and they do 1 damage each. Next, we have Baraka in purple. So Baraka is lucky. That essentially means she can re-roll all of her dice once per attack. She has a cattle prod, which is range 0, 2 dice, 5 or more, and it does 1 damage each. And it can be dual-wielded, and it's silent. Finally, on the marine side of things, we have Jared. He has the shove ability, which essentially means he can shove all kind of characters in his zone 1 space away. So it's a good way to kind of crowd control those Xenos. He's got the cattle prod and 3 hit points. Now we'll go over to Vivian, who is our first civilian over here. She has a taunt ability, which means she can give any enemies an additional activation if she's got line of sight of them. She's got 2 hit points and a cattle prod. We have Mitsuki. She starts with the remote control bot, which is what I spoke about. So she can essentially activate that Peacekeeper bot whenever she wishes. 2 hit points. She's in yellow. And, well, orange, because here's our yellow guy, Cole. He has a free search action. Now, that doesn't mean he gets to search twice in his turn. It just means he can search for free as opposed to searching, costing an action. He's got our second SMG. You'll also notice if you've never played a Zombicide game, I'll talk to you about their experience here. So I mentioned experience before. Every time you go into a new zone, you're going to be getting a new ability. So if you get to this yellow zone, you're going to be getting a yellow action. Well, this thing here, so you get +1 action. So instead of 3 actions around, you'll be getting 4 actions. And then when you get an orange, you'll get to choose one of these 2. And then red, you get to choose one of these. The only problem with going up in level is that the enemies also, their spawning goes up. So you'll have more enemies to contend with and more dangerous things happen. Okay, so that is our introduction all done and set. and let me give you the story to Zombicide Invader Breach. The Xenos came out from the deep and are ravaging the base. We are a few goodwill people, doing our best to evacuate family, co-workers, and strangers towards safer areas. As we were about to get off, we all received a distress call from a soldier a couple sectors away. He says he has some prototype material to repel the Xenos and needs some backup. We lost the signal. It may be too late. Or maybe not. We want to know more. So, our objectives. We need to escape with a prototype weapon. So, accomplish the objective in this order to win the game. We need to take the red objective. This prototype weapon will help you get out. And we then need to reach the exit with all survivors. Any survivor may escape through the zone at the end of the turn, as long as there are no Xenos in the zone. So for setup, we need to sort out the following cards: the prototype light machine gun, a prototype, which is a prototype weapon, one energy cell, which I honestly have forgotten to get out, so I'll do that in a second. And then we put the indicated Xeno miniatures on the zones, which I've already done. Each objective gives you 5 experience points. That includes this purple one here. Taking the red objective provides a prototype light machine gun and an energy cell card as well. So I'm just going to quickly go through our deck of cards and find that energy cell. Okay, so we're going to start off with Magnus. And my plan for this, like I say, guys, is I'm going to get all the guys down here and then through this exit and out. That's the plan. Let's see how well we get on. So Magnus is going to begin. His first action is to move into this zone here. He is then going to search for his second action, and he finds a searchlight. So when he searches, he can draw 2 cards, and he can trace line of sight to dark zones. Dark zones don't matter for this particular iteration of the game because we don't have dark in this. This is for an expansion. And I'll just show you where I put that there. So that actually goes in this little slot up here, which means it's active. He's got 1 action left. And do you know he's got an SMG? We may as well shoot some of these guys and show you how this works. So he's got a SMG, which means he's going to be rolling 2 dice. He needs 5 or more. And I've got some Zombicide dice here. I'm going to roll the red dice for range. No, blue dice for range. Red for melee. Let's do that. Okay, so let's see how we get on. Okay, so we got a 4 and a 5. Now, because we're using an SMG, it's going to be making some noise. But Magnus has successfully taken out both of these workers, and he gets 2 experience points for his trouble. So he moved, he searched, and he shot. And that's the end of Magnus's turn. I'm going to move all the Marines first, I think. So Jared's going to come in here next, and he's going to search. And Jared finds an energy cell. He can reroll once all attacks with this weapon. The new result takes the place of the previous one. That's if he attaches it to a cattle prod. So I am actually going to attach that to his cattle prod. I meant to say that happens if you attach it to a weapon which has energy on it, and my cattle prod is an energy weapon, so essentially I get to re-roll things now. And what's cool about the dashboards for this is you actually slide these cards in, which is pretty cool. He's going to take a free action now to close this door, which is there, which hopefully, I think it goes that way, hopefully will stop any Xenos who might spawn over here. And then we're going to move Jared into this zone for his final activation. Baraka's next. She moves into here, and she's going to do a search. And she finds some ablative armor, which will help her with fighting off Xenos or damage. And she's going to stay in there for her last action, because we want to search in there again with them. Okay, Mitsuki is going to go next. And I'm going to move these guys forward a bit because we're going to need a bit of room here. So we're moving there for 1. She's then going to do a search action. She finds plenty of bullets. May re-roll once all attacks with this weapon. The new result takes the place of the previous one and it attaches to a bullet weapon. So her final action is going to be to give this to Magnus because he has that SMG. Okay, so Vivian's going to go next. She moves into this zone here. She does a search. Oh, we have our first bad thing happen. So we mold spawn 1 worker. Place 1 worker in each active mold zone. Draw another equipment card. So we've got 3 active zones. There's 1 there. 1 just off the camera down here. And then we have 1 up here. she's then going to move into this zone. Oh, no, not just yet, because she still had to pick something up. She also finds an energy cell, which she'll attach to her cattle prod. Okay, Cole is activating next. He's going to search where he is. Oh, mold spawn 1 tank. So we also have tanks on each of these. This is not a very good start, I'm afraid. He's going to move into here for his first action because that was a free search. He's then going to, for a free action, loving the free actions here, he's going to place a closed door behind him, which will hopefully hold off some more of these Xenos. He's then going to, so there's 1 to move in there, 2 to pick this up. Sorry, 2 to move into that and 3 to pick up this. So Cole has now got our sentry gun. He did free search, he then moved, he's then moved again, and then he picked that up, and that's the end of his activation. So we now go to the Xenos. So they're going to move as quickly as they can to the area with the most noise, because nobody can actually see any of these guys. There's no door there, so everyone's going to be moving into this zone. Quite the firefight is going to be happening in here. And these guys, we're going to move them down here. We also have, just off camera here, we have our hunter who activates twice, so he's just up there. And now we do the dreaded spawning. So we're going to go up top first, and the first thing that spawns is a spoiler abomination. So all abominations on the board, 1 extra activation. If you have a spoiler abomination, spawn it. If you don't, nothing happens. So that guy has turned up. Very intimidating. The second action is we mold spawn 1 worker on each active mold zone. Oh, this is looking tough already. Now you can change the difficulty in this game, it's worth noting, by stacking the deck in numerical order. But I wanted to show you how hectic this game can be, so I decided against that. Now I wish I hadn't. Okay, so Magnus is going to go first, and he is going to search where he is. And of course we mold spawn more monsters. Why wouldn't we? So we're getting additional Xenos onto each area. And then what does he find? He finds a flamethrower, which could come in handy if we can find a canister, which essentially would just destroy everything in that zone. So that's his first action. His second action is going to be moving here. And his third action, he's going to do concentrated fire on this tank. He has to do concentrated fire because if we shoot into this zone, we always have to target these big guys or the abomination first. And just 1 damage will not kill one of these guys. So we have to concentrate fire. Oh, and I forgot, he had a searchlight attached. So he actually got an additional card. Hopefully not another horrible thing. No, he's got some more armor. Just because he didn't have enough as it is. So we're rolling 2 dice and we're trying to kill this guy. We need 5s or 6s. And we got a 1 and a 3. I should have moved that noise off the zone, but I will place it here now. Okay, so that's the end of his go. Oh. Okay, we're going to have Cole do his free search action. He's going next. He finds an assault shotgun, which is pretty handy. So he's going to equip that straight away, and we're going to be shooting with this. 3 dice to roll, 3 or more does 1 damage. So he's going to attack these big guys. So 3 dice, 3 or more. So we needed 2 of those, and we did. So we got 4 and a 5. So that's enough to take out this guy. That's 1 experience for Cole. We put a noise on there. He's going to attack again. And he got a 4, a 1, and a 2, so he misses this time. Then he's going to attack 1 more time. 2 5s. So that's enough to take out another of these tanks. Okay, Jared's not really much use there because he doesn't have a weapon. For 1 action, he's going to grab the assault shotgun off of our man Cole.
He's then going to attack into this zone here. And he's concentrating fire on this tank. And he got 1 hit. It's not enough. I'll try again. This time he got a 6 and a 3, so that's enough to take it out. So 1 experience point for Jared. Okay, and I think I forgot to do a reroll for Magnus because he's got those plenty of bullets. So I think I should have given him a reroll, but never mind. So that's the end of Jared's turn. We're going to go for Vivian next. Vivian's going to search, and she finds an energy. There's so many energy cells. So she's got one of those. She's going to grab the assault shotgun off of... she's grabbing this assault shotgun off of our man, Jared. They're just chucking this around, and she's shooting into this zone. And she misses all of them, which is a real shame there. Okay, so with another noise over there. All the noise. We're going to go to Baraka next. Baraka's going to search in there. She finds a canister, which is very helpful. She's going to move into this zone here, and she's going to give the canister to Magnus, who equips it to his flamethrower. Next, we're going to have Mitsuki activate. So I'm going to have to move everyone down. So Mitsuki moves into here with her robot. The robot is then going to attack it ranged. So it's going to do 5 dice. It's silent though, so it doesn't do any noise. And she needs 5s or more, and she didn't get any. So we're going to re-roll all those one more time. And we got 2 5s, so she takes out 2 of these guys. She's then going to do a free action to close the door in front of them, because we are going to have some hunters coming in. So we're closing this door here. Okay, so we're on to the enemy phase now, so the Xenos all activate. So we've got 1 hunter here, actually. So he actually destroys this door. So that door is now destroyed. We all move into here. Well, before I move everyone into there, this guy's going to move into here. So he was going to destroy this anyway. So we have a mold zone up here. Here. Everything is in here. Now, all of these hunters, they're going to get to activate again in a second. So the worker destroys this door. So the tank can move in. This guy's going to move down here. 1, 2. These guys will get rid of all the noise. All of these hunters are in here now. Okay, and now we have to hope we don't get any extra activations for hunters now, because otherwise we're going to have some issues. So the first spawn card is Hunter Spawn. So we get 4 hunters up the top here. Hunters are a real pain. And then outside over here, we have got the spoiler. Abomination activates 1 more time. So he is now into their zone. So I will place a... Let me move these guys over here. So we got to a point where it's very hard to actually get this guy into their zone because of how many miniatures we've already got in there. But this is now actually a mold zone. So I will remember to put that on, but not just yet. Okay, so, I mean, this is really tricky now because we're going to have to do melees. If only someone had the ability to shove. So we've got to start off with Jared. He doesn't like this, so he's going to do a shove. This essentially pushes everybody. He does this for free, pushes all Xenos out of his zone. And I'm going to quickly just replace this with a mold. So that was Jared's first turn. Jared's second, that was free action. So he's then going to grab the assault shotgun off of Vivian. So she chucks it over to him. He then is going to shoot, and he's going to concentrate fire on this guy behind them. So he got a 3 and a 5, so it's 2 hits, so he takes out this tank. And then he's going to shoot into this zone. And he takes out this hunter. And we've got 2 noise in that zone. Okay, so Magnus is going to activate next because he's going to use his flamethrower. Discard an attached canister card to create a hellfire in the targeted zone. You can't do this exterior, so the canister is chucked away, and it kills everything in this zone. So he gets 3 XP for killing the spoiler. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 experience points in one go. Which puts him onto 11. Which means he gets a free action now, and we're now in the yellow zone when we're spawning stuff. This zone is also now inactive. So that was Magnus's first go. He's then going to go 1, 2, 3. So he's ran all the way down this corridor. Come on, guys. Okay, so we're then going to... It's very important, by the way, not to end on an active mold zone because stuff is going to get spawned there. So we're going to get... Who's got a decent thing? Okay, Cole is going to go 1, 2, 3. So he's come over here. No, he's not. That's a coward move. We're going to move in there for 1. He's then going to shoot into this zone with his SMG. Got 4 and a 3, and he needs 5s. So that's his second action. His third action is to do it again. He got 6 and a 5. He kills 2 of these guys. Okay, Baraka's going to grab the shotgun off of Jared. It's all over the place, this shotgun. She's going to move into here now, and then she's going to attack into this zone for her third and final action. So we got 2 6s there. Kills these guys off. 2 experience points for Baraka. Okay, Mitsuki is going to go 1, 2, 3. So she's 3. And Vivian is going to also go 1, 2, 3. So she's also through. So we're doing okay, I think. Apart from Jared, who's on an active mold zone, which could cause an issue if we have anything bad happen now. So these guys move in here to the broken door. Although I don't know what noise zombie aliens would make. I can't really do my regular zombie noise. So up top we have 4 workers because we're in yellow now. So 4 workers emerge from the walls. Coming out the goddamn walls. And then over here, we have 4 workers again. Now, I have realized I forgot to give Cole 5 experience points for picking up the purple token. It wouldn't have sent us over into yellow, so it wouldn't have done much, but it does mean he has 1 additional action. But because I've only just remembered that now, I'm not going to give him an additional action because I wouldn't have moved him onto one of these. Okay, so we're on to the next turn. It's actually looking a bit clearer now. I just need to get the guys down and get this prototype machine gun. So Magnus is going to activate first. He's going to grab one of these O2 canisters. He's then going to trade with Vivian to give her a one of these armor, so she's got an additional armor. And then he's going to move back here, and he's not going to pick this up because it will give somebody else the chance to be in yellow. So he got an O2. He then traded. He then moved. He's going to move again. So Magnus is the first to step outside into the harsh exterior of the planet. Okay, Vivian is going to go next. So she's going to pick up this O2 canister. She's going to join him. Mitsuki, she's going to grab this O2 canister. She's going to move into here. She's then going to pick up this. So she gets the prototype light machine gun, which can shoot outside, which is really handy. And the energy cell to power it. She's now up into 7 experience points, so she gets an additional action. So she will also join her colleagues outside here. A bit crowded out here now. These guys are going to run now. So Jared's going to go 1, 2, 3. He's in there. Baraka's going to move 2, and she's going to grab herself an O2 canister. Cole is going to move 1, 2, and grab himself an O2 canister. And he has an additional action. So he's going to trade with Baraka to grab the ablative armor. So he's got a bit more defense. All the zombies activate. It's nice to call them zombies. Last time I was playing a Zombicide game was Night of the Living Dead, and I had to call them ghouls. So we just have to figure out where these guys are going. So we're counting zones. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So of course they're going to come this way. Okay, and up top we're spawning a spoiler abominations appeared. And then we have 6 workers spawn just here. It's like they know where we're going. They're trying to stop us. Okay, well, it's not looking too bad. I'm not exactly hating this so far. I think our chances are pretty good. And Cole's got this, so he's going to move 1 here. He's then going to activate this, and it's going to shoot into this zone here. So sentry guns run 4 dice, 4 or more do 1 damage each. So we got a 1 success there, so that guy's gone. Experience point for Cole. The second attack, he got a 5, a 4, and a 3, but they all need to be 4s, so he takes 2 more out. And then, so he moved, he activated that twice. He will shoot again. And yeah, he takes out this alien, no problem whatsoever. So you couldn't quite see the where I was taking them from, but yes, he's cleared out that space with his sentry gun. And the sentry gun is silent, so we're not placing any noise because we're in the vacuum of space. Okay, Baraka is going to... Who's not got oxygen? Jared's not got oxygen. So Jared's going to activate... He's going to grab the O2. He's then going to move 1, 2. Baraka's going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And yeah, I'm not actually... doing anything else with these guys on here. They're just going to stay where they are. I know that we do have additional actions for Magnus to do, but we're just going to keep them where they are because his actual pistol doesn't work outside. So the workers are pretty angry. They're revolting. They're going to try and finish these guys off. The inside guys are coming... Well, actually, which way is quicker? So they're going to come this way because... Well, actually, no. 1, 2, 3... Yeah, they're all coming this way. I was going to say about line of sight, but they can only see up to this area here because it's an active mod zone. When the spoiler abomination goes on to inactive one, it makes it active again. And up the top, we're spawning 6 workers. And on the side, we've got 2 tanks. That's not what we want to see coming out of there. Okay, so Jared's going to activate first. 1, 2, 3 into this zone. Cole is going to move 1, 2, and then he's going to activate his gun to shoot into this zone. So it's 4 dice. We get 2 attacks with this. We got a 5 and a 4, so that takes out 2 more. And we got a 6, which takes out an additional 1. Didn't take them all out, but hey, it helps. We might as well use Mitsuki now. So Mitsuki is going to attack with her prototype light machine gun. So she's rolling 5 dice, 5 or more do damage. It's 2 6s and a 5, so that takes out these guys. She's then going to, she's got a range of 1 to 4, so we could blast these guys as well. We could try to run in. Let's blast and then run. So concentrated fire on this guy here, because each one does 1 damage. So 2 5s takes out this tank. We should try again. Takes out this tank. I think she's got 1 more action left. I'll be honest, I've kind of forgotten how much activation she had. So I think she's got 1 more. So she's going to move into this zone here. Okay, Magnus can't actually do anything outside because his weapons won't help him. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3. So Magnus is on the exit. Vivian, she can't do anything outside either, really. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3. And I think Barak hasn't activated yet. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3 as well. So all of these guys can activate now. Let's check out 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these 4 guys are moving down here. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These guys are moving down here. And these guys are also moving down here. Just counting all the zones. The only problem with these mold kind of tokens is they slip around a bit. So we get 2 hunters at the top. My discard is all over the place up there. So we get 2 hunters up here. And then just where the guys are, we get 6 workers up here. Okay, so we're going to hot foot, I think. So Cole's going to activate first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jared is going to go 1, 2, 3. So Jared is also on the exit here. Barak is going to go 1, 2. Mitsuki is going to shoot into this zone. She got a 6, a 6, and a 6. So she takes out another 3. And she got a no hits there. One more hit. And then like Cole's kind of shouting at her, so she moves into here for a final action. Okay, so all the zombies move. So these guys are down here. And these guys are all going this way now. Okay, so spawning at the top. I think we've done this now. There's no way out of this, so we've got 4 workers. And then on the left, we've got the spoiler activates one more time. We should have put down some more of his mold. So the O2 station was destroyed. He activates again, creating another mold just down there. And then it's our turn. So Mitsuki moves into here, Cole moves into there, and we have successfully done the first mission.
Well, that all went according to plan, which is very strange for my solo videos, because normally I get absolutely trounced. Thank you so much for watching the video. If I did make some mistakes, then please let me know, and I'll add them to the mistakes were made section in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, then please leave me some comments. I always like chatting to you guys. And also, if you enjoyed this, then please like and subscribe to our various different social medias, where you can find all our interesting endeavours into board games. You might find some games you've never heard of, you might find some games you know of, and you want to find some more out about them. Or you could see me chatting away to various different designers and about their board games, life, and the universe. So you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and of course YouTube. And until next time, guys, I've been the ever excitable Adam. You stay safe and keep rolling.